No, EG is always that team though. EG is like, we don't practice, we don't do anything. Yet when it comes like time for tournament play, like we're still gonna like go in there, mess some stuff up. But at the same time, Dignitas has really stepped up their game. They were old Rock Solid. Right. And Rock Solid was like a third place team for a really long time, for like almost a year. And now I think they picked up 2 players, I think, and they just totally changed their whole team composition, and they're really good now. Like they really, as you can see, get stuff done. They have objectives. They make calls and it gets done. They really great communication that they have. I think is like their strongest suit is this. They communicate so well. Everything is precisely done. All their timers are perfect. Like we know their timers are coming up too, but they were already there. Everyone's already there. And
their shift of the entire map was happening like 20 seconds before that.
They're really well focused, and I think that's going to come into play. And I'd probably say 2-1 over EG because they have that.
All right, Ian, same question.
Yeah, I would actually, a lot of the points that Elementz were making, very good. Like, Dignitas has been playing great lately. Like, I used to think that one of their support player, Locust, I used to think that guy, maybe not the greatest. Like, he's a pro player, he's very good. But, I mean, after watching his Sona that game, that ultimate on the Galio when he flashed in, I was like, there's like less than a quarter-second reaction time that you have to do that, to hit the Galio, and it canceled Hotshot's ult immediately and won them the fight hardcore. And I mean, plays like that, like when you have the player that I thought was your weaker player doing a play like that, suddenly the whole team is just super strong. And on top of that, like they were controlling Dragon great, but like overall they've just made a great showing. But I think EG has actually done very similar. Like they're playing with Vayne very well. They're protecting the Vayne. Westrice has made some crazy plays with Vayne. And from talking with the players, EG said that they're actually pretty confident against Dignitas, like through scrims and everything. So I'm starting to think that EG might actually take it 2-1. I think it's definitely going to be a close series, though.
All right, so coming in with both of these teams, Dignitas and Epik Gamer, both having subs, it really hasn't seemed to affect them too much. They've been coming out on top. Are the subs I wouldn't say overlooked, because that means they aren't being looked at, but are they over-exaggerated? Is it just like they play with these players all the time, it's really not that big of a deal that they're in tournament with them? Is it causing them, to have to practice more, or is it really just something that fits in?
It really depends on who's who in a team, right? So it depends if they can jump into that role and just successfully go. Like when we took Voyboy in, that was kind of a new thing for us because we ran like a double bruiser instead of an AP and bruiser, and it turned out to work incredibly well. Like we just flowed. Like Voyboy just came in, and we're like, yeah, what's up? Like we've been playing with you for like years. Like that's what it felt like. And some guys really join teams like that.
Awesome.
But a lot of guys, sometimes they don't meld that well, and that can be making or breaking a team with a sub. But generally, yeah, we know these guys. Like we've all known Crumbs forever. He's played with him in high elo, and he just jumped right in because he knows everybody, right? So it's easy to make that transition. But sometimes, not so easy, and that can, as I said, really make or break your team.
Right on. You feel the same way, TreeEskimo?
Yeah. I mean, definitely, especially when you have subs who can play champions that are really powerful in the current meta. Like Anivia not being played nearly enough, and Crumbs' Anivia is like sick. It's one of his best champions. And same thing with Lozicero. Like Morgana super strong in this patch. Same thing, Ryze is really strong in this patch, and Locicero's his 2 most played are Morgana and Ryze. Like he's all over the place with them. So when their main champions that they're playing on the solo queue ladder that they aren't with the teams are the champions that the teams want to be playing, it's a lot easier to sub in because you're like, yeah, I can play like the best champion right now. Yeah, it'd be useful for you guys to have me for that tournament.
Who are you guys looking for in each team coming up here you think is really going to shine through? We know we've seen Skara from Dignitas doing a lot of things. Obviously, Westrice doing a lot for his team as well. Who do you think is really going to come out here? Is it going to be from the jungle? Are we going to see a lot of lane efficiency from either of these teams? Where do you think Dignitas would capitalize, and also Epik is going to capitalize in the game if they happen?
I think Dignitas might capitalize on a sneaky Katarina. I know Skara is like a very, very good Katarina, and I think that if he gets it, he can really clean up and make a win for their team.
Right on.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't go with so much a specific pick as I think Dignitas is just going to try and capitalize on those dragons. They've been doing it all tournaments so far, and I think Epic's going to go with the unconventional. Like that Heimer pick, that was really strong. That comp, I think they might actually go with the Heimer pick and do some kind of protection comp around Heimer, and that could be crazy to see again.
All right, guys, awesome. Thanks for the insight. Rivington III here, joined by Elementz from CLG and TreeEskimo of V8. Guys, giving us a little bit of a panel talk. Not enough time for QA because we are going to give you the final match here in just a few minutes. We're going to cut to commercial, and we're going to be back with more League of Legends action here at IPL3 Origins.